How do you feel about the arts as a whole and their value to society? And you started playing the piano when you were so young. How did that develop you as a person in other ways besides just being a musician?
Right. For me, music is sharing one's life experience. So I think with musicians, or for me specifically as a pianist, um, in a sense, it's kind of lonely. You're always by yourself. You're not with like an orchestra, or it's not really, unless you go into chamber music, it's a different thing. But for music, it's really all about sharing, and you can't really keep it to yourself. Otherwise, music will also sound closed. It's something. It's a very extrovert. It's something that you have to share with people, and so in that sense, I'm a very, I feel what I want to be, around people. I'm a social person to a certain extent, and I like to share my music.
So, keeping in mind how you feel about audiences in New York and in Europe, how come you choose to live in Los Angeles?
Well, first of all, I was living in Manhattan before I came here, and I was doing a lot of small concerts. I was literally out of my apartment a lot of the weekends doing these small performances. And I met my wife in New York, and we got married. And I was just like, I don't know how much longer I can live this style of life. And I decided, since I was raised and I was born here, I have a few contacts, and also it would be better for a family. And also the thing is that in New York, you have Manhattan School of Music, you have Juilliard, you have Mannes, plus a bunch of other universities that are just pumping out pianists every single year, graduates every year. And obviously the market's bigger there. But here I felt that if I, as an outsider, and with the schools that I've graduated from and the competitions that I've won, it might be, I might have an easier time attracting some of the more talented pianists, or, also starting up a studio. But at the same time, for me, part of my life calling, I feel, is performing. And so LA does have, obviously performances that go on, and quite good ones. And after winning the Iturbi, just kind of everything kind of, started moving. It was like an engine that was just slowly going. But the future, I have no idea. I might be moving back to New York. I don't want to just keep my feet planted here and be like, I'm not moving out. But if the time comes where I become more of a performer than anything else, I might have to move back to New York, possibly Manhattan. I miss it every day. But I'm here now, and I'll do what I can here, and in the future I'll go wherever God takes me.
So what's next for you, schedule-wise and performances?
Well, this year, September, I have a couple performances. I'm doing the Dvorak Piano Quintet with local members here in orchestras, and I'm also doing a solo recital. And November, I'm performing with a couple other students of Bruce Sutherland's. We're doing a fundraiser event for Amron. That's in November. And actually, I just got a call before you came. A conductor orchestra wants to perform the Rachmaninoff Paganini variations. So, it's, for me, I'm always selling myself, selling my music, I feel, and to get reinvited is the best thing. And so luckily, I've been getting a lot of that, and trying to play a different concerto or different pieces for every performance I do to keep building my repertoire. And so, it's there's so much repertoire out there. I just sometimes stresses me out, how am I ever going to learn all these pieces? But that keeps me busy.
And what's your learning process like? How do you learn a piece, especially since you play such huge, difficult pieces?
It's different. Sometimes I get engagement, and they want this specific piece. Then I'll have to learn it in whatever time. I never say no. Sometimes it does get me into trouble, but I always say yes, and then I worry about it later. But other times when I have pieces that I want to learn for the future, or pieces that I really want to learn, I just kind of learn it slowly on the side, and then if I have something that comes up, I take care of that. But if I have time, I'll touch it, and so it builds up in that sense. So there's different. There's not one way where I learn a certain piece. Obviously, when I was a student, it would be learning the notes and getting it memorized. But now it's like whatever comes first, I take care of, and if I want something done, it's more of a long-term project.
Great. Well, thanks so much for speaking with me today, and we look forward to hearing you perform many times in the future.
Thank you.
Thanks.